Now, this Super Bowl was written in the stars. We all understand that we are in the age of Aquarius, especially if you heard the Cat Williams interview last year. And during the last time that we were collectively here as human beings in the age of Aquarius was during the Revolutionary War. That revolution could not be televised because TV wasn't available. But this time, in this age, this revolution will be televised. And during this battle of the Revolutionary War, we can see that there was a great breakaway of systems where America was coming together to form its own self to break away from the system of Great Britain. And astrologically, we are in that same precipice of time where we are looking at our United States trying to break away from the systems that were created from race and hate, and how now this system affects us all collectively as a whole. As we look at the powers that be and how they've always been stating this entire time to make America great again, from what I can see from my standpoints, it's like these people want to have a hard reset of America. And our president at this moment is a reflection of the very thing that helped to create this country. The way he treats people, the way he doesn't treat people, the way he negates people, the way he manipulates people. These are all the characteristics that were created from the founders of this country, at least in my opinion. And he made the decision to be in Louisiana for Super Bowl 59. Now let's talk about the history of Louisiana. In 1719, the first set of slaves from Africa from the transatlantic slave trade were placed in Louisiana, and it was roughly about 201 slaves. About 100 years later, Louisiana was the largest port of slaves to be traded. And when we look at the entire experience of this Super Bowl, majority of the entertainment and the cast of the entertainment were all Black. And in my opinion, that was a representation of all of the slaves that came through this port in 1719 and beyond. And it's no surprise that Super Bowl is always in February, always. But February is also a very important month for all of us that are Black, and it should be important to all of us as United States citizens, because this is the month of Black History Month, and this affects all of us as far as our history goes. Now, let's look at the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 59. What does 59 represent as far as numerology goes? 59 tells us to embrace our soul's purpose, our life missions, and to focus on our own passions. And what I'm looking at is the blog that I created about this. So check it out when you can. And this is definitely something that many of us have been wrestling with because of all of these scare tactics that has been used upon us. It makes us question, are we really following our life path and our life purpose? And we question, why were we given this if we're facing our own demise? I mean, per se. Now let's look at the performers collectively. We have John Baptiste, Trombone Shorty, Lauren Daigle, and then we also have Lettucey. And all of them are natives of New Orleans. Now here's the secret. Their names collectively have a specific message that I would love for you guys to hear. So what I did was I translated all of their names to get a full understanding of what their purpose were. And what I came up with was that God has a brave foot soldier crowned to be strong and determined to bring forth or to come with joy. And when it comes down to Kendrick Lamar, his name translated as the greatest champion from the sea or of the waters. And when I think about from the seas or the waters, I think about the slaves that were transported here from the sea to be on this land. And we can't forget about the infamous Samuel L. Jackson, and his name translated as God has heard the king's son. And now let's look at Jalen Hurts, the quarterback that won the Super Bowl of this year. His name means calm healer, and his last name means wood clearing. And his name is pretty much a reflection of the resilience and of transformation. And from my understanding, Kendrick Lamar's halftime show was a reflection of playing the game. And so we cannot leave this entire conversation without recognizing Serena Williams and how she plays a part in this grand scheme of things. For many, the idea is that I guess, Serena and Drake, they were dating at one point in time, and that's been the focus. But for me, when I look at Serena, I look at her as the champion of all champions in a sense. She was the little girl with her sister, Venus, that were put into this game that did not welcome them in any way, shape, or form. And I was around from her first match until her last match. And the things that she had to go through in order to fight against the system, her and Venus, in order to fight against the system, in order to be recognized. And at the end of the day, they did it. She did it. She holds records that people are still trying to obtain because she did not play into the game. So I said all of this to say this. What we saw in front of our faces was not just entertainment, but in my opinion, was fully orchestrated by the creator of all things, source, spirit, universe, whatever you subscribe to, letting us know that it's all in the bag. And if you continue to do the very things that you were purposed to do, that you feel that you were created to do, and you keep moving forward, all isn't going to be lost. And not to be in a place where you are afraid, where you are scared, and you are stagnant, but to continue to move forward with the abundance, the idea of abundance, and knowing that joy and victory, no matter what, is going to be on your side. And that, in my opinion, is a direct message from my ancestors.